The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
It's been a long week for me. I haven't talked about this on air because it's quite upsetting, but I've gone through a death.
You have.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Actually, this has been going on for quite some time.
It's been a slow death.
To be honest, very unsurprising news.
But the thing with this death that you're about to talk about is...
that you're laughing about right now.
You're pretty keen to just walk away and never speak about it.
Yeah, that's right. And leave the body
the
behind.
body's just behind. That's right, Natalie. The body's behind.
The PT Cruiser is dead.
Oh, Nathan.
It's been in the shop.
What year was it again?
The 2006. PT Cruiser is dead.
Nathan, people that were born that year can start drinking this year. Keep going. That's close to.
Yeah, anyway, it's been in the shop in and out. They didn't know what was wrong with it. And then they finally, at Automasters, told us it's an auto electrician job. And they said we're thinking the cost may be too much for the car.
More than the value of the car.
Yeah.
So the car, it can be fixed. So it's getting towed today from Automasters back to my house in what I like to call for a stage of palliative care.
No, I think what you call it, Nathan, is lying in state is what it's doing. It's dead.
And then my mate's going to see if he can fix it over some time.
Is it an open casket? Because I might just drive past.
It's an open casket, Sean. It's an open casket.
Thanks.
And it's got clean underwear on. Luckily, you hooked me up, Sean.
Oh, you're going to go to Melville Mazda?
No,
Yes,
I did.
You've already been.
I went. Greg and Joel there gave me a Mazda 3 to drive. By the way, cars have wonderful features that weren't around in 2006.
Oh,
I know.
like what? Let me guess. A radio?
Yeah,
Windscreen wipers? What is it?
I was telling Johnny, I said, like, oh my God, when a car's in the lane next to me, it does a thing on the mirror and lets you know that there's a car there.
Sweet.
And then, and then Johnny goes, that's the standard feature. I was like, God, I didn't know that existed.
Your phone will just pair with your car straight away.
I know
you don't have to worry
I
about
now reverse park. I'm a reverse parker now. I used to hate reverse parking because of the camera. It's like, why wouldn't you? Anyway, so then it breaks my heart to see someone else go through some car trouble. And this is a very relatable story to everyone listening. This is a really nice guy, actually. He's mates with Johnny. His name's Lawrence Escalante, and he's a billionaire. He lives here in Perth. Yeah. And he thought that he'd give his friend a really great opportunity. So he drove his Lamborghini to Crown.
Yep.
I know. There it is. And then his mate from primary school, he thought, I'm going to get him, he can drive my other one. And these Lamborghinis are super rare. They're Aventador Ultimates. And the price starts from $900, about $1 million.
Yes,
and Lawrence would have all the bells and whistles.
Oh my God!
So we're talking.
You get the super good tinting and stuff.
Oh, you get protected.
And a tow ball.
Scratch protection.
A tow ball.
A tow ball. That'd be pretty funny. Yeah. I'm gonna jack it up too. Just
imagine that. By the time you get to Dunsbury, your caravan's got no walls left on it. You just ripped it apart. So anyway, he's parked it at valet, something that I don't know.
Oh yeah, we do
like
not because of valet.
With your new car, you will.
With my new car, but valet to me, it's like, oh my God, they're going to get in there and go, what a pig.
Yes.
So anyway, he's parked at valet. He's gone in for dinner, and then he didn't realise what was happening outside. So there's this poor kid. He's been working valet for about a week, and
not used to driving Lamborghinis.
Obviously, his personal car would be a Hyundai i20 or something, because the kid didn't realise how powerful when you put your foot on the accelerator,
and
how
the pedals
quickly,
are close together,
how
as
quickly
well.
you can go. So he's taken off in a quick pace, and he's hit the wall, and then bounced off the wall, and then hit the other Lamborghini.
I mean, what are the odds?
The guys
So you're going to hit.
Anyway, the UFC people are in town, right?
Yeah,
and one of the jiu-jitsu coaches for one of the fighters, he was there filming him. So I've seen the whole thing, and the guy's just like harassing him, which I think was quite mean, because this poor kid is mortified.
And it's not like he did it on purpose.
He didn't do it on purpose. Two of them.
I know. And also, like, if you for a valet parker to magically crash two cars that belong to the same person, that are
both
ridiculously
Lamborghinis.
Expensive and rare.
So how's that conversation when you walk back?
It's like, okay, so who are you insured with?
And the phone call that the guy gets.
Yeah.
you're like, you couldn't believe that.
I know.
Years. You
I mean,
couldn't.
look, Lawrence is going to be fine. He's got $1 billion. But I feel I'm this
Pray for the
kid.
valet driver.
Pray for the valet.
Why don't you give him your old car, Nathan?
Well, I could.
We'll have to jumpstart it at the very
It's going to
least.
take more than
I mean, all I was praying for last
Nathan's got a hill. That's a really steep
To be
hill.
honest, all I was praying for was someone to go into Automasters, get it started, and crash it into something.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
It's not easy being green.
It's a great day.
It's not.
Because Gardening Australia returns to our screens tonight, everybody, 7:30 on the ABC.
How fantastic.
And the star of the show, none other than Costa Georgiadis, joins us now. Good morning, Costa.
Being red or yellow.
Greetings, team. Happy New Year. It's our first banter.
It
Oh,
is.
so good, Costa. We've been waiting, counting down the moments and the
I
minutes.
cannot believe it. How are you?
Wow. It's always nice to share a moment.
Yeah. Did you become father to a new plant over the Christmas break at all? Since we've seen you
Get a
last?
new chicken. What happened?
Well, actually, no. Well, my chickens, I'm down. It's the first time in about 14 years that I haven't
Christmas
had
dinner. Oh.
Oh, well, yeah.
Why not?
No, I did. No, that one of them got drowned in the pool by a cat.
Oh, Costa.
And the other one,
It's a horrible story.
the other one got scared to death by a local dog. So, yeah, I'm down.
Imagine
but
how
I'm
scared you
waiting.
have to be for that to take
For a
place.
local dog.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suppose just even an
Any dog.
unlocal
Yeah,
dog
that's right,
for
a
a
foreign
chicken's
dog.
pretty bad.
Costa, we had a couple of chickens in. My son got them for his birthday. Oh,
No,
he wanted,
can we not
he
tell
wanted
these stories, please?
Are we telling dead chicken stories?
And my wife said, "Oh, look at the dog Rex. He really
Sean, don't
loves
tell
these
this
chickens."
story.
What?
He loved the chickens too hard. That's the end of the story.
Yeah. Let's talk gardening.
Yes. This is Ali. Ali's is the newswoman here.
Newswoman.
Anchor woman, as I would say.
Hi, Costa.
So Ali's got a question. We're going to dive straight into.
Hello, Ali.
Hello, Costa. I'm a big fan. I bought my boyfriend your book for Christmas, by the way. We watch Gardening Australia all the
that's
time.
very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that centerfold's a bit concerning. though.
It's a well-placed butternut pumpkin.
But I would not have shoved the rake there, but that's okay. Whatever way you want to do your garden's up to you.
The carrot.
I have a question for you, Costa.
Yes.
In winter, I transplanted 2 of my grandmother's rose bushes, and we did it with sterilised secateurs, everything like that. We did it all the right way.
Wow.
They're alive. Your secretaries,
Yeah,
really?
you have to make sure infection doesn't spread. Isn't that right, Costa?
Are you joking?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
pretty serious.
Wow.
Anyway,
So did you
now-
take them out of the ground
Yes,
and
we
put
took
them in
out
pots?
of the ground. No, then we put them into the ground
Okay.
at our house. And then, so one is doing really well, thriving, and the other one is like literally on his last legs, about to die, but they're right next to each other. So what's happened there, and how can I bring the other one back to life?
Yeah, well, congratulations on 50% success.
It's like Siamese roses.
Is it like any
Yeah,
transplant? It could be rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's sort of... It's hard to say. I've transplanted a heap of roses over time, and you know, sometimes you've got a deeper taproot and you cut it back, and just depending on the state of the plant, how it deals with that. You know, as long as the ground is not, just check that the ground around where you've planted it isn't too wet. Because you know it may be boggy and drowning in there. Otherwise, you know, if the other one's doing well and it's not far away, then it could just be that one didn't like the transfer. You might want to cut it back until you find the living wood again.
Okay.
Like cut back until you see that it's alive in there. Maybe take it out carefully, check that it's not too wet. Put some additional. I'm not sure how sandy your soil is, but make sure that it's
personal.
We've been wanting to know that answer for years.
Family show, Costa. Thank you. Clean it up.
Okay, that's amazing, Costa. I'll check the boggy ground.
When she's cutting it back to see with a living wood, is it like, can she literally be left with like just a stem?
stump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if
So
that's
cut
the
it right
case,
back,
it
huh?
can be enough to bring it back. If as long as it's not, you can stop the rot, basically.
What if there's no living wood?
Then it's dead.
Then it's dead.
And then it's a dead plant.
I can't revive it
may-
at all.
I mean, we're not experts. Is that right?
No. No, you might want
Well,
to
I'm
try
happy
that
to
part.
defer to your advice there and agree.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's
luck,
all
Ellie.
right.
Thanks,
Good luck with
Ellie.
it.
Great question,
That's
Ellie.
Costa helping Ellie in her time of need. 13 24 10.
He can help you too.
Do you have a question for Costa? And how about this, everybody? Costa is going to pick his favourite person that he's helped.
And give
then
them a prize.
They are going to win $300 to spend at the Herdsman Market.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Wow.
WA's modern marketplace is ideal for your special Valentine's Day feast. It's
Yes.
all under one roof at the Herdsman Market.
Produce like you've grown it yourself.
Absolutely. Now, Costa, can you just send it to our BSB, that 300, mate? And we'll take care of it on our end.
Yeah, well, I was actually going to say, I've been helping myself this morning, so I might just take it.
So at the moment, Costa's won
Costa's
it.
winning. Yeah, Ellie's coming second. All right.
Yeah, Ellie's coming second at this stage.
13 24 10 if you have a hard-hitting gardening question for Costa Georgiadis.
Good morning to you, Amy.
Good morning.
Hi, Amy. So, Amy Costa.
How you going?
Hello,
Costa?
Amy.
What's your question?
Yeah,
Ace?
good.
Okay, I have two questions. One, how do you combat with a natural remedy the grasshoppers? They are absolutely destroying my raspberries
Oh, no.
and my mint. Yes,
And your what?
Mint.
and my
Onion
mint.
mint. I go through something else.
You have a lovely
Think
flavoursome
even
and
more
fragrant
garlic.
garden.
That's the prize.
I have a beautiful garden.
Costa, how do you get rid of the grasshoppers?
Yeah, look, depending on how the season has gone over there, and I assume you've had rain. There's plenty of food out in the broader landscape, so their numbers have multiplied. With something like your berries, it's the same with a lot of things in the garden. You've got to weigh up the method of control, and if you really want something, then you got to sort of think to yourself, all right, I want those berries. I can try and make some deterrence, or I get a net over them to protect them. And, going with a little bit of infrastructure is sometimes a lot better than sort of semi-baked kind of alternatives that aren't going to necessarily stop them, particularly if their numbers are up. So my thought there, Amy, would be to get some netting and put that over them so that you just have it on there for the duration of the crop ripening, and then you'll get the berries.
Yeah.
Like a hairnet, a big giant hairnet.
That's it.
Yeah, right.
That'll do the
Because
trick.
grasshoppers, wouldn't you just grow get a little plush patch of lawn and then
Nathan.
coats them away? Hey, come and hop on this.
Nice try.
Over here.
But I think even grasshoppers prefer raspberries.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm hearing guest presenter all over these.
Thank you so much, Costa.
You can lure them away.
I
with a
want
patch
to
of
see
grass.
you on there. I'm putting the word into our research department and saying our next guest presenter is right in front of it.
Hello.
He's an ideas
Hello.
man.
Well, from one Nathan to another Nathan, Costa, we've got a Nathan for you.
Hello, Nathan.
Festival.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey,
Hey,
Nate.
Nate.
Hey, Nate.
What do you want to ask Costa?
Costa, I've got it's a two-part question. I've got a pool area. I've got 4 magnolias in a pool area. One is just thriving, looks like a brand new. It's probably 5-6 foot. The other 3 are in general stages of. They're not dead. They're very sticky, but
Yeah.
I don't getting any new growth. Right next to the pool, I have a flowering plum with 4 other citrus trees. Had it for 6 years, producing fruit. This year, it just started. It was all sticky, obviously, when they lose their leaves. It just started to flower, and all new leaves come in, and it just literally then just died.
Oh, no.
So,
One last
enough.
one.
What sort of pool? Well, what sort of pool is it? Is it
just-
chlorine?
it's a
Is
salt-
it salt?
It's a saltwater pool, but it does. I've got a massive 6-foot limestone wall behind us, so I thought maybe I was getting lime coming through the soil. So I've done pH tests, I've done alkalinity, I've done phosphorus, I've done everything possible from
You
what I've been
sterilised your
told.
secateurs.
Yeah, good, great question there.
No, so
Yeah,
How
well, look,
sandy is your soil, Nathan?
it's great that you've done all those tests, to knock out those sorts of things. What about just, is there water? Where's the water from the pool going? Is it running
Oh, no,
down?
there's no water. It's a raised garden bed, so it's actually out of ground. Obviously, the whole the garden bed itself is actually 500 out of ground of the pool. So it doesn't really get wet. My kids don't splash and bomb me and stuff.
Yeah.
There's none of that. But yeah, they're just sticky. They're just not full of body and life. And I've pumped them with fertiliser, with NPK Blue, and all the black marble. And I'm just wanting to know.
You're his last hope, Costa.
I have never heard of anyone more dedicated to saving the life of a plant before in my entire existence. Costa, help him.
Yeah. Well, look, sometimes when things end up on a downward trajectory, and then we start doing more and more, we kind of lose track of what impact that first thing may have had, because we've doubled down with the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and suddenly that soil, if it's a raised garden bed, you may be well served if those three plants at that end of the garden bed are struggling. I think you may be well served to bring them out and replace the soil and get plenty of organic matter in there, so that you can bring, so whatever soil, the new potting mix you put in, get some compost in there, so you get that activated. You need some life into that soil, because it sounds like, it's just, all of these extra things. The food isn't all that it needs. It needs that microbial activity and not just more and more food and nutrients.
Now that's Costa's advice, Nathan. Now my advice is to get a pillow and put it over the plant's face and just go quietly.
Nathan, you kill everything in sight.
I do have to say, actually,
that is true.
Costa, you gave me some advice for my dragon tail plant, which the leaves were dying, and you said it needs a bigger pot. And I don't know why, but I refuse to follow your advice. I think, no, who are you to say that I need to buy you new clothes?
And how's the plant now?
It's dying. I've got one or two leaves left. But who is that plant to tell me that I have to go and buy its a pot? No, you stay where you are and live.
And grow and live.
Or you get one or the other. It stays where it is, or it lives.
Well, the arrogance. You know what I mean?
Well, but it's copping a wedgie. It's struggling, and you're leaving it to walk out on the street and be kind of bullied by the look, instead of saying, "Hey, I just
need
pants
that are way too short for it."
I'm sorry, I'm not letting a plant boss me around.
Pants, man. New pants.
Costa, you've got a job to do. You have to choose between Amy and Nathan as to who gets the prize.
Well, I feel like Nathan has been battling. He's been struggling hard. Amy has this one pest, and she's reaching out, whereas Nathan has kind of tried many things, and maybe somehow compounded the issue.
Made it worse.
So perhaps if he pulls back and just reverts to either a soil change or a bit of compost to break all that down, he'll get success. So I'll give it.
Give it to Nathan
this time. Thanks, Amy, but I'll give it to Nathan.
Nathan, $300 to spend at the Herdsman Market, buddy.
You have extra stars for demons.
Yeah! WA's Modern Marketplace is ideal for your special Valentine's Day feast. It's all under one roof at the Herdsman Market.
Ace Ventura, Nathan.
Good on you, Nathan. And Costa, thank you.
What a great answer.
I know.
Actually, you know what? We can't let... I mean, Amy has got a grasshopper problem.
Well, yeah, that's right.
We're going to give Amy 12 Lottery West film passes for the Somerville Auditorium.
So she can get away from her hair's problem.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, Perth Festival is back from Feb 10 to March 5th. You can get your tickets at
trade them for some netting.
Yes, you can.
Or just buy raspberries. Gardening Australia back tonight at 7:30 on the ABC. If you've missed that, check it out on iView. We love talking to you, Costa. Thank you so much once again.
Oh, thank you, guys. It's always a treat. Can't wait for our next answer.
Can I just say, Ross, you walked in before and you were listening to Ellie talk about her plants, and what did you say?
I can't believe I was interested in how a rose bush is transplanted.
Well, got ya. He got ya. Costa got ya.
Yes.
That's right. Another one, Costa.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
We're joined in the studio by Comedian Dane Simpson, who is here for Fringe World, doing shows at the Pleasure Garden tonight.
Dane.
And his show is called Didgeridoozy, which is a great name for a show, Dane.
Now-
Well done.
Thank you.
Dane, welcome. You've already blown us away because Dane has walked in with something I did not even know existed, and that is a travel didgeridoo, a travel didge.
Yeah. I use it in my show, so it's part of the show. But it's a smaller didge. It's in the S sort of shape.
It's like a pretzel.
Yes.
It looks like a pretzel. It's
yeah.
like
Coiled
curved
up.
up. So it's like if you're going to like fold up a didgeridoo
Yeah.
to put it in your overhead luggage.
Because I would have thought travel didge is one that like telescopes down.
Yeah.
But this one just curls up.
I think too, like being like a proud Aboriginal man, like a Gamilaroi boy, and taking my didge around,
Yes.
and because it's got that S shape, and then in the show, I was in Melbourne and I was talking about it, and I was like, oh, it's got that S shape. It's actually my people's symbol for hope, and that's a Superman reference. That is not.
Okay, Carl.
Traditional Gamilaroi
And people just
mythology.
clapped,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh no, sorry guys, I was joking. Like, that was,
Hey, Dane, when you're going to the airport with that, do they think it's a bong? Because it looks like one.
yeah, it's my dad actually. I brought it out at one of my shows, and I was like, oh, "Does anyone know what this is?" And he just stood up and went, "Looks like your bong." Dad, stop ruining my show.
And not just that, because I thought that, like a didgeridoo, because it's on your mouth and you play it so much, I think that a didgeridoo personally would stink. And we've just been having a sniff of your didge.
Which is weird.
And it smells really... You've got a nice smelling didge.
I'm glad you said didge.
He cleans it.
But it does, Sean, you had a smell.
Yeah, I loved it.
Nelly, you haven't sniffed it yet. Here, sniff his didge.
Harry liked it.
What sort of wood is it?
It's just really get your nose in the top of his didge and just sniff it in the hole.
It must be.
Get right in there. Isn't that a nice smelling
It's
didge?
pleasant smelling wood.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And we like pleasant smelling wood. What sort of wood is it?
What is it?
I don't know. I didn't make this one, so it's
No
maybe
idea.
it's like a cedar or something.
It's a hard
It was a
wood.
gift.
Yeah, it was a gift from my colleagues. So I left work back in 2018, and they all chipped in. And it was a government job. I used to work for the state government, young people with intellectual disabilities and acquired brain injuries.
wow.
Yeah, right.
Social worker. And did that for 12 years or so. Back in the day, like Enrique Iglesias was releasing a song called Hero.
Yes.
That was about me.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah.
Remember we went out with Anna Kournikova? Did they marry each other?
Yeah, they did, I think.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so. I think they got
Good
kids.
on him.
Yeah,
I'm
good on
glad.
him.
I'm
Hey, I
glad.
want to ask you about, you just mentioned your dad a second ago, but I did see on one of your, maybe it was on your website or something, your dad's got a record. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so he can click his fingers really fast and really loud. It's crazy. It's a party trick sort of thing. And then we were being silly in Wagga, and we were just like giving an opportunity for people to click their fingers faster than Dad, and nobody could. So he's got the record for Wagga Wagga's most fastest
clickable fingers.
clicks.
Yes.
In a minute.
In a
sort of
minute.
thing. Yeah.
How many did you get in a minute?
Oh, like a ridiculous amount. Like, I can't even remember. Hundreds.
Wow. Like 10 fingers going at once.
But it felt like 10 fingers going at once.
What a talent.
I'm not a good clicker. Did you inherit his clicking ability?
Here's the thing. I take off my dad a lot, like, because he's an idiot. And so then I pretend to be him, and I'm like, and then I've slowly become good at it because of mocking
because
him.
you've been...
Because show me your clicking style. See, I don't click like
that's
that.
great clicking.
Yeah.
Because how you click like that or whatever?
Yep.
I do like a club sandwich. I put my 3 fingers on top of each other. And I don't know why, and no one's ever told me, and it doesn't work very well either.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a wet click.
It's all
Nobody wants that.
sniffing digits, wet clicks. This is a crazy.
You didn't know
helps
it
the
was
kids go to
headed here,
school.
did you?
Kids are on the way to school, so it's
This
perfect
is
time.
breakfast.
Hey, I want to ask a question, right? Because, people don't want to offend these days.
Yeah.
Is a white person that is not of First Nations, are we allowed to play the didgeridoo? Are we allowed to try it? When does it step over to cultural appropriation? Because I know a lot of people out there probably go, I'm going to have a go, and I might put it on social media, but are you offending people? What's the deal?
Yeah, I reckon sniffing it is up there.
You're on the list. It's on the list now.
But it's totally up to, and I feel like it's individual people. Like there's such a fine line. It is like religious sort of stuff. So you wouldn't be disrespectful to people's religion in those certain ways, and there is like that kind of background. But depending on where you come from, across the country. So there is obviously Australia being the continent, but Aboriginal people have so many different countries.
Yes,
inside
different
that.
nations. Yeah.
Same as Europe. So, and in that you've got your own different cultural beliefs, language. You even look different. The same as like an Italian and a German. You can tell the difference between them, but they come from the same area.
Yeah.
But saying, "Oh, what's your religion? Is it European?" would be weird. They believe all different things all across the continent. So it's the same in Australia. But there is an ongoing belief. So the didgeridoo, there is different stories. I'll give you a quick one. In Wiradjuri, that's where I live in Wagga Wagga. The Wiradjuri people believe that a woman found the didgeridoo and it had broken off a tree and the wind was passing through it. And she was like, I want to play this. And so she's picked it up and started playing it. And then she became really good. By the time she took it to the elders, like the people who enforce laws. They found out that she was infertile because of the stomach muscles maybe that she was using. And so the elders forbid all women from now on to play the didgeridoo in fear that they might become infertile.
Sure. Okay.
But I also heard a story when I was in like the Northern Territory or up north of Australia, and somebody was saying that they believe that spirits can enter people's bodies and make them pregnant, and that there's a spirit that lives inside a didgeridoo and that can enter a woman's body and make her pregnant. So that's the complete opposite. That's contradictory.
With the same outcome, which is that they don't want women to play it.
With fertility and pregnancy and
there is that
crossover.
Yeah, and they also there is some. I heard another yarn about that there's a voice of a god, like a Biami god in the didgeridoo, and when he's teaching young men how to become men, how to be big and strong and giving them, I don't know, maybe some confidence in that time where they're teenagers and they need a little bit of...
heading towards manhood,
And so they would go up to wherever it is, like these ceremony places, and then they'd play the didgeridoo, they'd do some dances, and then they would become men. They'd get that badge. And women would do different things, like they would go down to the river and sing their songs, they'd play their instruments, and that's the reason why we were sort of like defining it. It's a sort of a man's instrument. That's where it sort of comes from.
I never knew that it was...
Oh yeah, no, I've heard that along the way.
I never knew that it was not women weren't supposed to play the didgeridoo. That's the first I've ever heard of this.
Yeah, so that's where and I suppose I've skipped ahead. So it's so women, it's generally women don't play it. But in saying that, like we live in a different world today. Like that is a traditional world. And if people want to be respectful, obviously, of that traditional world, please don't play it. But if you're sort of like your own person, then who am I to sort of stop you? We live in that kind of world.
As long as you come at things with respect.
Dane, all the travel that I've done over WA and Northern Territory in particular, all the Aboriginal fellas I've met, they want to see you play it. They want you to have a go and be a part of the culture and feel it.
So I suppose it's assess the situation, like, you know, if you're being invited or ask, you know, it's probably the best thing. Can we have you play it?
Absolutely.
All right.
Does this have a different sound because it is curled up? The travel ditch.
That's the freaky thing about it. Is it gives it that a fairly good sound. I think it's sort of.
They should all be curly.
It would be hard to make, and it is eaten out by ants normally in a normal didgeridoo. So they eat all the marrow. Would you say of the tree? And they eat the softwood and then they leave the hardwood. They can't digest it. So that's how normally a didgeridoo would get hollowed out.
Good job, Ants.
But I talk about it a lot in the show. If people want to come and find out more, please come along and have a laugh.
So this is Dane Simpson, everybody, with Baby Got Back by Sonic
Baby Got Back. And now something more traditional.
Now you can choose.
Now you choose,
I've never heard such different sounds come out before.
They're fairly. The more you play, the more you sort of learn.
So that's just mouth control. Is eliciting those different sounds?
It's really
breath control.
That throat, like when you clear your throat, so you go. that'll come out like this. So.
And then the high pitched one.
And so you can go.
Right.
Oh,
so good.
And then you can just manipulate that.
Can you speak in it and we understand what the word is?
Yeah, there's some. I think it's a little bit like a ventriloquist. You know, like there's some letters that you can't.
Can you drink a glass of water at the same time?
But yeah, definitely. And yeah, I do it in the show where we do some words and that type of thing.
Can you give us a word?
Yeah. Okay. This is weird.
This is weird. Horses, there we go. Daryl, he wants some money for that. He wants some money for that.
Dane, thank you so much for giving your joy and the talent.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.